The Floating Gardens. So this is a map breakdown for Trials of Osiris for Floating Gardens to help you go flawless and kind of figure out how the map flows and maybe learn a bit about map reading and things like that as well. So as far as your positioning goes, this is one of those maps where you'll need to be changing up your tactics pretty frequently in order to be a team that's on your skill level or better than you. Most people will be expecting you to run to the very top of the map where the balcony is, or top horseshoe. Basically the area that goes up those stairs on the other side and meets at the very top that looks out on the sky. This is a really bad move. It's pretty 50-50 chance in terms of who's going to win these fights, because both teams get there at relatively the same time. Unless you're clearly the better team, it's going to be a pretty 50-50 chance. But even if you are the better team, it's still kind of risky because you are getting there at the same time. So if someone gets a lucky nade, anything can really happen because you are arriving at the same time. So you really want to do something else, at least in the beginning, to try and get your positioning right. In the video, I do go there the first round, but that's just because I'm pretty confident with my skill and my team's skill. This is the wrong decision, so don't necessarily copy me in that regard, but just also notice how we're switching up tactics fairly frequently after that first round. In terms of other places you can go, look to go to the bridge area, as you can get some really nice angles on both spawns, while also cutting off the other spawn that you're not looking at and middle angles that look in on you. That's the area towards the back of the bridge that lead down to both spawn areas, the red and blue light areas. The map is circular, but it's also very symmetrical on both sides, so the angles you'll find on one side of the map will also be on the other side with very slight variations. One of the biggest pieces of advice I can also give you for this map is to use walls, boxes, pillars, anything else you can find for high advantages just to hop on top of. Even if it's a very small high advantage, do this, especially if you're sniping. Most people will be looking at their head level, so you can really do this to get some quick shots off. Do just different things that people won't necessarily expect. It'll prevent them from possibly getting lucky shots on you, panic shots on you, things like that. Body shots, those kinds of things. They'll make you safer for a brief moment so you can get a shot off and then you'll hop back down. But these objects are going to give you some very unique and unexpected angles on the enemy as well, so use these to your advantage. I show off a few in the video. In terms of your weapon loadout and weapons you want to use, as always, the last word, Thorn, AS Luna / Palindrome, that archetype. Faster firing pulses like Clever Dragon, Hawksaw, Grasp of Malak, and Blind Perdition work well. I saw a lot of people using scout rifles, including one of my own teammates. I would avoid scout rifles. This map does have some big lanes, but there's a lot of people that are using pulse rifles, at least this weekend that I notice, and they'll flinch you out of your shot no matter how good your shot with a scout is. So scouts are very situational on this map, so just be careful if you do use one. But pulses are your way to go for your more long distance engagements. As far as your secondaries go, of course, both snipers and shotguns are viable pretty equally. Very similar to last exit. Play your weapon strengths. Passive sniping on this map is very easily punished because there are so many different angles looking in on the various areas, so a mobile sniper is more the way you want to go. Don't just be sitting in one spot at least for too long. So if you're sniping, just make sure you check your flanks and radar frequently. Shotgunners stick to the tight alleyways and top middle of the map, as well as the bridge area. This is where you're king. These are your playgrounds, so have fun. You can get some really nice shoddy kills by hopping up to unexpected players sitting on the bridge as well. And make sure if you're shotgunning to stick with your team. Don't go off alone, because you can get isolated really easily on this map as well. And of course, pair your shotgun with a longer range weapon like an AS Luna archetype hand cannon, or a pulse rifle, and of course pair your sniper rifle with something like the last word. And even the longer range hand cannons and pulse rifles work well depending on the team you're playing against. Like if we were playing against a more aggressive team, I would use the last word. But if we were playing against a more sniper heavy team, I would use the Clever Dragon just to get some nice flinch on snipers and to beat them out. As far as your subclass loadout goes, Night Stalker, Striker, and Voidwalker are probably your three best ones you're going to want to go with. At least that I saw. You can definitely use the others. I'm not saying don't use Blade Dancer, don't use Stormcaller. But these all three of these subclasses are your playmaker subclasses, because they do have these great one-bang supers. You could argue that Golden Gun is good too, but Night Stalker has a much better neutral game than Gunslinger, which is why I'm saying use Night Stalker. Night Stalker is extremely versatile. It fits nearly any playstyle. It's great for zoning areas with smoke and their nades and stopping aggressive players. Striker is good for aggressive pushes and defensive play alike. It's just a solid overall class. And Voidwalker is another versatile class. It has similar uses to the other two. Axion Bolt is best for sniping, good, and it's decent for shotgunning well, depending on your playstyle of shotguns. Skyrenades and Nothing Miracles are great for aggressive pushes. I generally shotgun with Axions, but they fit my playstyle better. They kind of fit a more distracting playstyle. When you're shotgunning, it's great for kind of multi-managing things, whereas Skyrenades are just kind of good for like hit and run kind of engagements. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you out. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Anything more specific, because again, this is a general kind of do this, don't do this kind of video. If you have any more specific situational kind of things you want to ask about, feel free to leave them in the comments. But as always, I was the Wiggling Wolf, and I'll see you guys in the next video.